What do you got there, Mike?
Ghost Castle #1. Not an expensive book.
Oh, you've been looking for that one, right?
Kind of. Only because I ended up getting so many Ghost Castle #2s.
Cool, cool.
I gave you one, so I thought I'd come across #1. I'll pick it up. Sure.
Cool, cool.
This whole island.
Yeah, that's all mine. Yeah.
How much is the Justice Society? Like,
It's regular 1,000, but it's on sale for $20.
And we are back to Mike. Now, this is great. Now, we spent a lot of time at Forest City this weekend, which in the past is usually Big B or the Silver Snail, or the point is, Forest City has always had kind of substandard stuff. So
Seem to be stepping up their game.
That's for sure, yeah.
This is the second con where they've done that, and I'm happy with what I'm pulling out from them. So.
now, what is it? Number 102? Is that what we're looking at?
This is number 102, which I think is the last Kirby penciler, because the cover artist is John Romita and John Verpertine or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
John, yeah, it's a very long name.
Yeah.
So it's the last Kirby as a penciler. I guess they changed guards after this one.
Yeah.
But again, okay, you see $40. So if I convert that to US, giving actually our dollar's weaker now, but $30 US would be a $56. So it was a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
They've got it graded at an 8. I just to be safe, I give it 7.5. At 7.5, it's worth $56.
Yeah.
Again, written by Lee, penciled by Kirby, inked by Joe Sinot.
Mm-hmm.
Happy.
Nice book, Mike.
Yeah. And of course, I'll grab this. Don't worry.
Sure.
And this one you've seen before on the channel because Paul has it.
No, I actually have never shown mine, but
I didn't know that.
Jose showed a CGC copy, I think, a
CGC
few weeks ago. The Death of Phoenix, yeah.
So again, you see 33 Canadian, which worked out to about $24.75 US. That's a $70 book in that condition, and I think he's got it. 7.5, and yeah, I looked it over. It's 7.5. September 1980. And one thing probably not mentioned, we all know it as the Death of Phoenix, but there's actually 6 first appearances, and I think they all die in the same episode.
So singular appearances?
It's one of those singular. But I mean, if you're someone who collects books that have first appearances, well, that's loaded.
Yeah,
man.
you
That's
don't
loaded.
really need to. I mean, for this book, this book kind of stands on its own.
Oh,
it's
for
a
sure.
seminal book. Everybody knows what it is, and anytime you can pick up a copy at a good price, it's well worth doing.
Happy.
And so now, and you never had this one before, so
No, just adding to my run. I'm just trying to fill it out. The only thing about the con this year is that I didn't see very much Spidey again.
Yeah, but it's okay. You picked up some nice X-Men, and
Fantastic Four filling in, X-Men filling in. I'm happy.
cool. And of course, Mike, just like me and Jose, is a John Byrne fan, so
Oh, absolutely.
we're all working on our
Absolute.
X-Men runs.
Absolute.
Wonder who'll finish first. Okay, so Wonder Woman number 165. Now, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the most expensive book you picked up this weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Not as expensive as far as what I paid for it, but as expensive as in the value, because you have to use the force of your knowledge to know. There were similar earlier episodes where I've said anything under 200 is hard to get. You get it in good grade at a good price.
Wait, was that another Star Wars reference? Okay, so Star Wars week.
That's right.
Okay.
Because anything under 200, and I'd mentioned this in an earlier episode, hard to get in good condition. Now, they graded it as a 9. I'm saying, okay, just to be argument sake, because I haven't even opened it out of the original package, to give it an 8.
9. There's a bit of spine roller, but it's a nice copy. It's a nice copy.
I don't get so just grading it at an 8 for now.
Yeah.
Just grading it as an 8 for now. I mean,
It's not a 9. It's nice, but
it's not a 9. No way.
Yeah.
But say an 8. At an 8, it's 119 US bucks. These older books, that is a 1966. That is October 1966. It's older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Ross Andrew again did a lot of work for the Wonder Woman covers, and he also did the penciling inside. Mike Esposito did the inking.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even pronounce the name for the writer, Robert Kaniher. Or
It's
something
okay. It
like that.
doesn't really matter. I'll
First
I'll
appearance
throw it
of,
on.
the Paperman, and he dies the same episode, which happens a lot with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I see.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's a really sharp book for a book that's older than me. I'm so happy. Even if I had to bring it down to a 7, it's still a killer deal. I paid 22 Canadian dollars for that, man.
Very nice book, Mike. Very
Way
nice.
happy.
And the final 2 books of the evening.
Oh, this is the finale. These are my most, my favorite find, my most important find.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to talk about them in the context of like what gravitates me towards decision of buying a certain book. Like I have a 5-point system. Like basically it comes down to this. I use the Overstreet Guide as a base, like I've mentioned before in a previous program. I give 1 point if it's mentioned specifically in the market reports. I give 1 point if it's mentioned multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I give it 1 point if it's in a high grade. For me, VF or higher, 8.0 or higher. I give it 1 point if it's got a great cover or it's got an important artist or it's a great story. And the last point I call the X factor. And these books have the X factor. Of course, this is Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. These are late Silver Age books from September and December of '68. Both classic Jim Steranko covers. Now, Paul and I discussed number 1 issue, Conditions. We were talking about it in an earlier episode.
That's for sure.
These, like I said,
Yeah.
while I'm not a runs collector, like our Eagle Eye Mike friend here, I do pick up runs in like key issues, and these are definitely 2. These are 2 wall books.
Mm-hmm.
If I had paid full rack, one was I believe 55 and the other one was 35, so $90 I got like for again $25 a
$25
book. So
piece,
book
nice.
giving me an excellent base in case I should want to get them CGC'd
Yeah.
because they're great covers.
Yeah,
The one on the left, or should I say the one on the right, we'll start with that one. It's the Shield origin issue. Well, it's not. It's the origin of how Colonel Nick Fury basically joins Shield at first. If you want the origin issue, unfortunately you have to pay up big bucks. It's Strange Tales 135, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a hundreds of dollars book, even higher grades. But like I said, it shows that. But the main condition issue with this book, of course, is if you can notice it in this light, the white cover is very sepia tone.
Starting to yellowing, yeah.
It's, well, not yellowing, but it's
Sepia.
starting, the acidic progress in the newsprint has started to turn it like an off-white creamy brown.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the toughest covers, if for condition, are black, where show really, dents and
Yeah.
nicks and creases and bends, and white covers, because white covers are very sensitive, of course, like I said. But otherwise, it's got a great spine. The corners are good. I would say both books, maybe that one's a little high. I would say that one's maybe a VF minus 7.5. The other one maybe a 7. That's the one on the left, this Dali Swipe. Great riff on basically a fine artist, Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali takeoff.
Yeah, Persistence of Memory. That's a riff on that painting with the melting. Everyone will recognize
The
the
clocks
melting.
melting.
Melting clocks, yeah.
Exactly, and like it's Nick Fury running from these kind of creepy dudes here that are seeming from the platform there, and you got a skull there.
Yeah.
And he's running off the melting
That's
portion.
awesome.
It's a great cover.
Amazing covers, yeah.
Well, the Steranko, he's important. He's got that X factor, the 5th factor. When I like I said, these are, in my opinion, are historically important books. I mean, my sister pointed out to me a PBS documentary called Superheroes, and I bought the accompanying coffee table book, and they talk specifically about this one because the first 3 panels, and this is a first in comic book history, did not have a single caption, a single thought balloon, nothing. It was
Wow.
filmmaking, just panels of basically Nick Fury
Drawing.
scaling this enemy edifice, like it's like a big tower, big phallic symbol, going inside, evading guards,
Yeah.
and eventually getting killed. Now, I won't give anything more away, but it's a great story, and it was revolutionary. And when he went to get paid, and it's talked about in detail, Steranko was like the Hendrix of his generation. He was one of the guys with Neil Adams taking over from the
Yeah.
old guard that were retiring in the late 60s, and they were like the new generation for the 70s.
Radical ideas.
Exactly. So basically, he tried to bond, Fury, give him something to look for in a character where you're basically competing against, like he said, superheroes who could, leap tall buildings in a single bound and, basically take on anybody. Here's a guy who's basically a spy kind of dude who's, got an eye patch and smokes a cigar.
He has no real superpowers.
No,
Yeah,
but he
no.
tried to make him like, like that kind of hip, cool,
Yeah.
James Bond-like guy. I still have a couple issues. Number 2, we got an excellent story where it basically censored the last panel, basically with after they're kind of like looked at each other and giving each other a rose and they're embracing. You see the phone with the the thing off the hook.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Common School Authority said, no, you can't do that. I mean, you had to change the panel. Of course, Durango was pissed. He
It's
only
very
had-
suggestive, yeah.
Yeah, but he only had a 3-year career with Marvel. Eventually, he left the industry. His work is very little scarce out there. These are two higher grade examples for an artist that I think is somewhat underappreciated because
Oh,
they're not
totally.
expensive books. I mean, if you want really, really high grades, you're talking into the low hundreds. But
Yeah.
still, for what they are, they're historically important books, and then that's why they have that X factor.
It's amazing. Steranko only worked in the industry for 3 years.
For Marvel
Really?
anyway. I
For
think
Marvel.
he did some, like
Did
I
he
said,
do some stuff for DC as well? Or?
He may have done, but he worked.
Mm-hmm.
He's known mainly for his Marvel stuff, and specifically Nick Fury. His first work, for example, the Strange Tales 151, where
Yeah.
he did pencils, or no, he did inks for the great Jack Kirby. It's still a reasonable book. You can get in high grades for $150, $200
Yeah.
for his first ever Marvel work.
Pretty big name for such
I mean,
a short
I'm getting
time.
one CGC by the first Bushima for Strange Tales.
Yeah.
That's I think 150. Yeah, so.
And Marvel didn't even want to pay him for the first 4 pages,
The
right?
first 3 pages, yeah, he said that you didn't write them, like I said, because he did everything. He scripts, he penciled, he did the inks, everything. So one man show, like the equivalent of a writer director kind of guy who basically,
Yeah.
it's his whole vision there in these books. So like that's everything for him. Right? So
And Marvel
at
didn't
least the
wanna
first
pay
one,
him.
Then he basically had to pull back because it was, like was so exhaustive basically.
Yeah.
Being almost solely responsible for an entire book.
Oh, your chief cook and bottle washer. That's what they used to call it in
so
England.
eventually, like
Yeah.
I said, it only ran up to I think 18 issues. Like
Yeah.
I said, I mean, it was a challenging time. Like basically, superheroes were on the wane, and people were coming up with new things. The Code Lesson, we had the werewolf and the horror titles
Yeah.
resurgence, and like I said, but I mean, of their time, they're great books.
Well, I have to say, it's probably one of the most influential series that only lasted 18 issues. For a series that only lasted 18 issues, S.H.I.E.L.D. is featured in its own TV show, in all the Avengers
That's why they're
films.
great books to
Oh,
pick
yeah.
up, while they're still reasonably priced.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're great covers. Great covers.
Okay, well, guys, that was amazing. And, yeah, shit, I mean, I just had such a great time at the con this weekend. You guys picked up some fantastic books. Me, as usual, I'm squeezing my pennies, so I've been taking it easy, but so I'm glad you guys are picking up some higher end stuff that we continue to show in these series. I did pick up some stuff like some Ghosts and some lower end books that I didn't really think was worth showing, but I probably will show them in a later episode.
You
But
save the ghost for Halloween.
Halloween, yeah. But again, thanks guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you liked the series. I hope you liked the episode, the December Con special episode. And if you like what you saw, leave a comment, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you later.
Special guest Mike. Yes, yes.